No siabo memoakwa ba medase. Ebra no aso se nwumre no nsia kase ebo mede somwo. Ensem hodo ya to yembo ase aboabo ano no metena se na mede asomwo na kai so wasantimantem na wuti a bebia wuti eye inshi Rai FM 104.5 Asempa FM 94.7 so wankra kropom ase your ultimate sports station. Waje atunku kekase mu a wo bu ni tot na nsam no wanya bi na afi watumi atie na nsam no de ne meet aduase di kan de atwagu mprempre afi na watwi mu nsam ahodo atwagu ye no meet aduase ka ho no mede atwa so ama okai see dem live on Facebook and YouTube. Edward Robert Tete aka African ono na dem atomu live na nsam wa beti anwumre no so ka hire bi ene se opanyini pegu ade sobo obogana mampanyini sese de kata hye proye dwurimdie ene kankan ekoso mampanyini abu na somu nua no na se panyini no ankasa no wonim hu bi sanso ena opanyini kwasi ani so wasi kata hye edwuro man Ghana de so betumi akasa ne ade kan ebom se o man de enti a wakasa mu nkyiremu mede bebreo Omapanya bi de che Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bamia so watwa homam ye ne inland marine port etifi fam wo my Ghana wonom ba behwe na afi watumi adi hu adwuma sanso na afutu akwa makoku anyi do ho sesa de waje mampanyi dada atambrese na mu ene bia ya wasie na asomdue pakata nani ase no ne papa so betena ase wo bra enti wonye bibi sa amfa nyenka yedum e ma ono ankasa ne papa ne yehunu sa mpani ampa no wodwene ne papa ehu no manfo bi so wonom ewo suhun wo mu kiremu a ene ese de nnua nyini a tototo apo akase wo high tension ne ntimframa fa ya ne keka bom ne tete eja ti ha wo adwene pa wei ene nsem ahodo bi nam de som ye meet aduasa ye di kansa na watwi mu nsem no media no so atoa so ama kai se kwami kulenu wona boabo ansem ni nyina anoma me na kwasi agimo pambo so na so na me amaje bre ede nsem ye som wo no wuhia me a eya frame Anokyewaaba Adwoa Serwaa afa nsem ni nchemu no mamemfa entwa so emaw mranim ni baako ya wodi ni djuma wo my Ghana mu eyo panyini Martin Pegbu no panyi kiremu a se ye ka de baako ha ye wo so my pa eketa hye program die ni kankan no panyini bia woti adwaso na wo hwema nkwadare na nkan yebu na nkarefo ane woni yedidi nkan sanse woni mu wi anka hwema nkwadare na nwe panyini so ntira fie mu asefo amfo na ebefu edura nwumra de na mbodie enti opanyini Martin Pegbu se sadia ohwekata hye ho nsem asia dore o my Ghana na obetie ye ni obi akofo gire signature 10 million ye Ghana cedis na no say Northern Development Authority NDA wo mo hono de ese besire mampanyini nka ho hwe ehwehwemu beba beto dwama ebe hu ni seketa hye proye dream de sika kakraka bi afa ha na beto dwama mampanyini nka ho hwe hirabasa eti se kobasa de ne opanyini kiremu se won de wogidi pa sa aba na sa no Jubilee House eya we o mampanyini wonim de yakoso esanse sebi se panyini to no bi koka be ka wo wani bere e ma akoda korokora wo twe na so e ma obi ahunu se ade yi akoda ye de na ne papa enim ena akoda yakoka be ka papa ntim wo twe na to wo twe na chi ma we di papa tia no yi na se wa akora wo ka ho bi na aka kire oba no so won koto bo mo akoda tiko e ma ne mpai no panyini Martin Pegbu di nsem nyina atudwa ewo news file jumadi esonko yakoso ewo joy news so no wache sese panyina timatena fie ama nkora wia na ewe na nkade ya ne na Ghana man panyina na danko akufo ado keta hye pro ye ho na nka na ne nkrofo wia wanka ho hwe no opanyini wono so owe na nka ne bi.
Beyond the survey, the first thing is I think so far the president probably hasn't heard. Maybe we need to repeat it more forcefully for him to hear that he's part of the criminal syndicate at the Jubilee House. The president is certainly part. Look, all this corruption cannot happen without the president's involvement. Look, you know, even Manasseh did this thing about Zoom Lion, the spraying. When schools were being shut down, you know, the time of the corona, this virus, the pandemic broke, schools were being closed and we're going to come back after 3 months. What was the need for the spraying? You follow Manasseh's story, it lands on the president's desk. Other stories land on his desk, PDS and the rest. So the president, we have to say with all the energy we can master that he's part of that criminal syndicate. And that, look, we will not take this from him. He has to just step down.
Is it not the case that you are looking for swifter action and the president will use a process that is not as swift as you want? And will that warrant and justify your saying he's a part of this
The president is
criminal syndicate in the Jubilee House.
He's not interested in any process because in opposition, okay, you can Google it, I'm sure viewers know. He said he will use the Anas principle when the president was coming to office, and that's why I voted for him, okay, with alacrity. He said he was going to use the Anas principle. He wasn't going to use this adversarial system. No, Anas principle. And what's the Anas principle? Private investigations. So the president should tell you and I, how many Anas principles has he used since he came?
Any equity, embranim ni lawyer Martin Pegbu. Ena watch say Sadia Mampenini, what can a near goose was on one I can't say Anas principle. No libe took at a shiny brainy dream diase. Na be seen the penny, one more home wadi and esse, one could not ren and cano penny, wouldn't na wakahubi. Yaguswajina Katasha prayer dream DNA cankai and some emo. Opanyini ya wada Faculty of Academic Affairs and Research ewo Kofiana International Peacekeeping Training Center. Opanyi chemu se katasisa prayer dream die ne kankan ya ade anya wasi etu ase efiri oman yi mu. Na se opesa wote oman mu na osikasem totoye na hunu se de obetoto wakwan na se bi wonko ama ahodo so nko babosia de bia na yasone ahodo no asika twie fam kogu ankra botom wode ajapade ahodo a bi kura ntua ho to no ewoso sisi santokuro ni nyina. Nanso opanyini kiremu a katasisa ne proya so ne ade a kan yebom so oman yo. Wase sente saa secretary seni hono mo a Ghana Enterprise kura na ene me no ka se saa brain ka ahwehwan se obi ata so no. Na odi semi to dwa na Ghana Statistical Service ene wo mo hwehwe mu o mo ayede abetu dwa wo che se ehwe katasisa ne proye se de esi di ahim enwumaku ahodo age hini de edi ho ade kopim de edi ase. Na no panyine che se 2021 kura na Ghana Integrity of Public Service Survey GSS omo de betu dwa se o my Ghana ene esika botire 5 billion Ghana cedis na o manfo bi tuatua ese keta ahye de ma nkura nwumakuo ene aba nwumakuo ahodo emu mpanimfo ahodo bi na sa finpunu no aduonu baako emu no na na ni nyina ye se obenya ajeketua bi afiri wo ho ebi ankrata bi na mebehwehwe ana se lances kura na meba abagye ana se he ebefset na mebeye enkanipa na wasa ne nsa kan wo enso no watua ho bibi kakra bi tie no Ghana Integrity of Public Service Survey for the omde beto abonti afimpinu ne aduonu baako ni mu na no so kra da nche opanyini chese enya de ese nwanwa enya nwanwa kra na wonim so mafo akatua na nso mo sadia na amabo ya ade a yetua ne kaso nkotena no nyese kakwa mkulenu ya friends krache wadwuma no so obebo abonsema na no che oba akokan na no che oba mbedu a yesem sa amakwa mkulenu 20 Ghana mse kwa megia ifa koto banku ansa na the story na mame ha jempa ankura nwuma no kura de ya na wo fam kakana so aba adwuma mu no health insurance kura ko renew na uwe no amani pan 20 Ghana on renew mountain ha jen eti aban hwe na sa ne mani nyina no wontu asientem.
Corruption is the glue that binds this country together. That when we take corruption away, the edifice called Ghana Enterprise will collapse. And I think this report quantifies in very practical, commonsensical manner what corruption means and what bribery means, the extent of the problem, the category or the categories of individuals and institutions who are involved. So something for me, this is one of the few times when state agents is bold enough to scientifically prove these allegations that people have. But it is not a surprise. I think the critical aspect, one, is the recognition that this is a problem. We've quantified it, and we've brought it down in terms of developmental terms. How many schools can we build? Clinics, how many roads? But also more importantly, that this cuts across different shades of individuals and institutions.
Na enuachi no ena Professor Emmanuel Kwasi Enin echese katasane project DS ya rentu ase na ese oman Ghana yenkwa eda sanye mu se oman etimpanifo mu ani mre no wontu ase se be ya daache de wani mu no amana na eda hono no yenkotom.
Corruption creates insecurity, it creates a sense of social injustice, it creates inequalities in society. And for example, sometime last week, the level of embeddedness of corruption through bribery, there are conceptual differences slight between the two, was when a police officer accosted my friend and actually demanded that the bribe that he was asking for must be paid through loan. So we have made a report about that because LTN was kind enough to send us some of the details. But my shock in the quantification of the extent and the value of corruption that this report places on the table is that we are very good on the rhetorical side. Flowery rhetorics of established institutions whose willingness and capacity actually to come to grips with this problem.
Any equity a Professor Emmanuel Akwesi Anin, Honorary Director at the Faculty of Academic Affairs and Research at Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. Yemfri Wana Yanko Mampanyini Abediachi Nakache. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, Menoka se wetwa homamua. Empanimfo be frase ne Inland Marine Porto, wonmo tumi asibie wo my Ghana na Tifi FM wo na we no, wose eka Transvolta Logistics Corridor no eho. Wo sha amai bi etese Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, ne amai etese sanu a. Se koba se niam firi ho no mo ba, ni nyina akwa de de fa hyen ekwan so. Dia pressure ene we yakwantempo ahodo so. Enso kwara nka so frawi Volta Leki ene nka demu ho no mo akra de kopie sa nkrofo no wo mo hye so. Ya sempanifo to misi sa port ni bi ho no mo a enka niam akase bi ti won ma no ase ne ode afa sutade yi bi so na ne no ode ba no kakra krasa na ode aba be piem wo my Ghana say sometime. Etian na mpanifo adwene ho no mu se ho akohia sa afedie wo mutumi ye no kyeremu a beye mfie num ni no matena se afa ho adwene a na afa na bosomfo yi pumakwa mu a wo mu atwa ahomam na LMI Holdings na age ato wo mu se wo mu ebetusi sa eye Inland Port e de ama mpanifo na mampanyina be de akire se LMI no a waje ato no so obesie no obehwe na afa wo man no anasa aban no mo bia wo so de ma wo mu bia won sa be kasa so na hemfo a wo mo dabre mpotem ho no mo ampanifo besi sa asusenjina bia nsoso no mo a wo mu hia no wode be mo no wasere so obi afo na dwene ma ampanifo no ntumi sise be ya akonia abadie ne niema de ba ne de kro no ebetumi akosototen.
I am also very excited today because of the implications and the historic nature of what we are all gathered here to do and to witness. Idea of an inland marine port in the northern part of Ghana along the Volta Lake is an idea that has been much talked about since independence. The case for such an inland marine port is overwhelming, but we have not been able to make it happen since independence as a country. No government has been able to make it happen. For me personally, this project has been a 5-year effort by government to encourage and facilitate this investment by LMI Holding. Finally, today, by the grace of God, this dream is about to become a reality as we are here to cut the sword for the construction of the Debra Marine Inland Port. And not only a Debra Marine Inland Port, we are also cutting the sword for the industrial park, which will accompany the Marine Inland Port.
Ghana mampanyina abedi akire His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia ne ene ekoti ne no achi no ena aswafo ya wohwe ye akwani abedi ho nsam so akwaku wiase ama wono so kire se weni de eho akohia pa se wo mo yo wo so mo ye pa na afi so kura no mo akwansidi ahudo bebre wo hono mo wo se wo mo yi firi ho ebi kura ye he enua hini ahudo tintintintim yesu tade animu wo so do su kokko su tade na na de bia moa ma su hyen kese enam nsuo no so anhwa na akwa sum de fidie amana komuna to ni nyina obetutu afiri mu se be ya nsuo ni mbeda ho na adwuma kropoti nti a wo ye support no atumi awieye.
The objective of this study was to, among other things, explore the potential of the Volta Lake in order to attract the needed investment, position it to play the needed critical role within the Eastern Multimodal Transport Corridor System. The ministry is also implementing other safety interventions such as the removal of tree stumps, the navigable routes in the Volta Lake. So far, tree stumps have been removed at Dambai to Dambai Overbank, Yeji to Makango, Dambai to Njere, Yeji to Agbajeke, and among other routes. This has in recent times lead a significant reduction, which has been recorded about both accidents on the lake. In addition, government is seeking a support from the Republic of Korea through the Korean Exim Bank under the improvement of the Water Lake Transport System project for the development of cross-lake ferry services and its related infrastructure along the lake. Infrastructure investment are complemented by an efficient transport network to facilitate movement of cargo in and out of the port. Therefore, this imperative for LMI Holdings collaborate with the relevant state institution to work towards enhancing road and rail net links the port, facilitate the efficiency of this important port.
Ora kwaku fori asiama ena yetie nene no. Yemfru anane yemesere nkwa fra mantamu en. Enka ni titire ni ma Association of Ghana Industries. Onukura ya mprempre titire ni di ma Volta Development Forum. Dr. Prince Kofi Klojeson. Opanyini di adesredi mu oden ama enka ne mampanyida da John Evans Atamose. Eni opanyina no ne kroba ekoku anyidoho. Se wosre omobeka ya ne na watwi mu ade ba akwa ekoba ne se wopanyini wani kuo ba akwa tumi ahye won ho a bia ya wopa mampanyida da akorabre no woso okwa renovation se okosiesie ho baabi etuntum mu kwa ni fitaa baabi ase de awie wuo no wo mu kwa akoye ne foforo ma ho no ayefefefe na aye hyirin kama na ne afiri se sanse bi beto odwa na abusua ne kire se etise kura na o mampanyini no yo ma ne de ade so no ofira abusuam eti wontumi ntam ma obose wo kwa renovation abra wo mabusuani ama ne wose abusua panyini begina ho gu nsa ansa na sesebi odo nsa beka opanyini ne mu kura bre ne kura na odo nsa aka hwe de wo ma abusua ama ne afam yenu wo mo betuma mentwesa akura me kopie mo mrahye bedwafie ama kokko anyi do ho beyi ano sa adai etuntum no wo beyi afiri ho no abaye ne fitaa ne bone a waye eno no na no na Dr. Prince Kofi Klojeson e kire se ese wohwemu pa no anka kokko anyi do ho ne papa Brigadier General Henry Kwame anyi do ho no soso opanyini wa ye dwuma pa wo mayi mu panyini ya ye dwuma pa no wote ase na dwuma wo boma wo mayi pa ne sade waso manfo ankrankra mu aboa wo mo no se kokko anyi do ho penka ye dumpa ko onye bi ma ne papa wonya ma ne papa sanse papa so bobra na wonya ma mpanyi dada John Evans Atamese na mu ni ne na yie ne ne ma hye nyina ma buhia no onwene na buhia ho wonya nka ye dumu e fesa e mo no so papa na ne papa e bobra wo mayi.
Who should you see the Bible says you must respect your father. Kwaku should go to Tanyigbe and put up a foundation for the father. Oh, General, I told you a story about how, Telecom came. Yes. This man went to Rwanda. It's your father. You are correct, and at least change your name and do whatever you want to do. Professor Mills is not your father. The law says the head of the family. You see, no matter how bad Mills' family, look, you and Ruby were at the gate of Professor Mills. He didn't become rich. He didn't become president. He didn't appoint the vice president. He appointed John Mahama vice president. What has John Mahama done to you? He didn't appoint you as vice president. You want to tell him how John Mahama was appointed vice president, you don't believe it. I was there. Mills met a very prominent person in South Africa. Ghanaian, met them. And he said, look, I have a vision that I need to appoint John Mahama as president, but I want bipartisan approval. I can call you names. So that prominent man went to the AG president. It was faked. What are you going to achieve? This is my nephew. Sometimes he pain me when I speak to the father. The father has a lot of pain. I know the father 3 weeks ago, you should have followed your father to Rwanda, sitting by your father for the big award. My brothers, is it not, blessing? What do you want to achieve? What are you? Okay, Saturday, Sunday, President Akufo-Addo came and do what he has to do, president to president. Where are you? Oh, Anyido has done very well. I like to praise him. Is that what you want?
No. Your brother mu esha sie frifie. Wahu. Na opanyini chire mu yi. Se wankaza papa mu kura dem se taase kro mu nto wo ho. Oh, bia o mo pe ne kura bre no. E na wo ko asomdie park ho so na atia wo tiase. E na opanyini appoint o mampanyin dada John Dramani Mahama se o maye ne running mate. Wawu awie fe na woni abusua e twe asomdue park ho de ya na wo je nyam na mekon opanyini na eka na enu achi na opanyini se kire se kura nka ado nsa kwa kan ye ya abusua ne kire se wa ma mama ne no enka efe ehu kire munya abutire we de wo se agira na na waso awo men ete se do papa de wa ya wie na de kokwa anyu do ho ye na kura de woti ase ba bia ente.
I don't know what people want. I don't know what he has against John Mahama or John Mahama has against him or that castle there. But Ludwig and Goku, But look, you see, Babaku Mensah was the most senior most person there, secretary of the president. He's the president's friend. Jananido who friend is Professor Mills. You don't even know how you got there. You don't know the relationship with Jananido who Professor Mills and Akufo. You don't even know. We are children. You see, so these things, do not be doing things like that and then our politics. So, you see, Jamaha didn't choose himself, Akufo didn't choose himself. You know, look at Stephen Tim. After 3 fights, five, he became chairman. You never know tomorrow. You see, if you want the president, it's not for president, let them vote for you. You see, what is the problem? Come out with the real problem. Whoever killed Mills, are you a doctor to declare who killed Mills? So if they say people were killed by, you know, Takoma Juju, so is that what you want to hear? So what? It's not the issue. Well, I know. Kwako should say whatever his problem. It's a nice guy. You've done your best. You see, step out, somebody in.
No. Need to training at the Association of Ghana Industries. Onokran and away to training the Voter Development Forum. Dr. Prince Kofi Klugerson. And your wafenessing actually kuku and you do hono so when ya won't go in fear dear. Na Yankopon Adom watch the question in any muse. Ghana man penny and Adam Kufuado, and you bet to me a corn was a coach home will not be a packer. Yes, in the kama no, Yadia and Kaye, and Ayadiaka man penny, John Evans, at Amosa when ya the baby echo.
Jim FM.
Every one of the Amra Pro ya bantam way, and yet nurses whom near Babagina. Omanfo bi omwo suhum Anglican school bottom honom yesa from sa ataniata wo mo se na oba honom aso dan bi ho na aso dan no ne compound ni mo ne nnua na nyinia yese dogo ena eni po no wo honom no ahoma eguso no ekeka bom frama fa na ese ne ekeka bom pa ama ha dwen eti ekeka bom sa na ese pa peja enti no chesa ma yam hihie ena aba wo mo eso no mo se omoni ECG mpanimfo akasa so ase anamobia enkoso ewo ho wo moni asori mpanimfo so akasa se be ya enkomo rekon obefa so betime twetwanua ne ho na nka mframa fa enkeka mbom wo kiranku abansa akwati egu obi apampam eno so nya ade ese chese atumi abamuo na yenko ahoma so na yene eye landlady na so no no wo efie ewo bia ya ka ho asemi Onukuro yasa Chief Inspector retired Margaret Esrifi entuche komoni enhwe sede ohaw no esitia ankasa maame majoy ya behwe na afi yensa atumi aka Chief Inspector retired Margaret Esrifi na wono no wasini dan ewo ye Suhum Anglican School bottom atane ata ho no mo na sede enframa fa enua ye dogodogo tententente wo hono mo a na bubomu ma ehoma egu poso na etiti gya no omo ya abatan wo mo agapade wo ho yenhwe sede emu duro sitie ne anamo a wo mo atu ewo ho anti mage majoe
ya na mami
na mpombo ko de mame
Adom ni nti
yede nyame ase yenya ne ntie se wo ba atane atempotemu ho no mo a ene ye se de enua ni bia ya atente mframa fa se wo yayi epepa pagya ni mu na mote ase etesen
oh mami asamo ayehu no enya deketua mami mframa bwa na ejie egu kebu yiso enti epagya na tine gufam enti eyesa womo free haba no womo ntimi ntwam womo free haba womo ntimi ntwam basa nso na school for upon one school for no so ntimi ntwam na me fie na ni ni opposite na media me fie ho de ejad dem
wo fie ho no
ani na ni ye opposite mami ekwan bia mefa so bia obi emu ya me
na maami yenhwe anya bia no se ebasa ya esabi ankran mfa atwede enkotwere se adua no so okotwa anhwe abewi ase na ofiri soro abehwe fom asoke no ECG mpanimfo no mo na wohu nyansa ne hu nimdi obetwa anya bia no mato wo mo nkra
na me ya to wo mo nkra o me yo banti o mu ya me na boga bifie wo machi ono de 7 July ya adini si din dia anajo untimi nafie akise pa ana okọ ade ati pe no call 7 July no call ho okọ report personally besin ne obi emu ya okọ ya no asemo obeka ni say omo ya we wo ho dada omo busa ni say atane ata we no na wo beka no say an na che say omo ya we besi nne obi ensi ha
yesu hum ECG
me say se papa no nko US ana metimi di ne number kura mam
na maame yanhwe mehwe video ya da Facebook a yehwe ya ye hu se dua no kura asa aso nhoma bi na asa nhoma na be bare wo yes no dua no hina na dua ya esi ho afie nti wo mu enyini no ana ben wo ya no wo mu anhunu se wosi mu yiyi hu na aduru sa bambanzo yi
maame dua no esi asori dan enim ndi si osofo ne ya we onte ho oba sori o ha no konti amane aye na mu nyina emfana
no asori be no
ya na ya fra na atane
ayo enti sesi amomatu anamo akọ na papa ezu boga esu fra brochire bo nso atu anamo akọ ya ECG fo anya hu hwi ti yeza mbatena se yese ya akopom da ebeji wom na ja ato mu fie ma ahedwere be
ma me ma dawro ma o mo so yemu esi se ya ka be bi e se ya de ko ya ko enti mo na manu duru bom enti ya pa mo cha o mo ma so mayen na Ghana ha de se emma boni a obi enka hwe agise asaya de agise kum nipa enso adinu so sifie school for na masie enipa ko up and down ma me ya be ne dan enti agise modaro ma mo so mu maye mo na manu duru bun mu mo nka maye enye sa mo bete no enye papa
yate ante mage ya da sepa na inimu se adom de eduru akire empanimfu otie we obehu china obehu ne se ahokeka beba na se suhumi ECG obi tie a wontu nkokose wo mo atane atasem no mo nim wo hwe se de ne maame Margaret Sylvia twetwe nkomo yi a wo kire se o mo te ho mo nim uduru ho a wo atane atane obuza se atane atasem na abeka no ana na so mo nim dada tie ba ne se no mabu o maso mu nua atwan se ebeji wo mankrofo adan ahye na fire tendesi na ehu na mane eti o maame ye ne kwetwe nkomo yi Chief Inspector retired Margaret Esirifi na ono ne dan wo ye Suhum Anglican School atane atampotem ho no na said ye mframa fa dua abebare wires wo ho keka bom titi jagu fom a sukun koda ntumi ntwampanifo ntumi nkoma no wode ho ahohiahia asem ato ye nim ne ye gina so na afi na watwi mu ensem no ye de atoa so na ansa na no kai se ene aye memrenda anwumre ti memrenda anwumre se de na se dependable herbal home mo na akwafa Adom malaka badwa so betu malaria se Adom natural tonic eye mojaduro stronko a wanum ato apa bi enonom a wanum bete Adom natural ma mesa ne capsules enso ye mema duro be ma num bi ne bo adwuma se be ma Adom medical capsules ne mesa so oba betu afichi komu ha nyina ma ho ato se anupai dependable herbal home ne dia ba Franco Trading Enterprise say your phones accessories laptops printers fridge na wo air condition TV ni nyina wo mu adibia ba phone papa efie afekel charcoal toothpaste wasi wutwitwiri wosi anya paste ni paste pekel charcoal toothpaste wutwitwiri wosi kaka no ha na se betu ntumi num nso enwini nyina beko na ho ato agbava herbal center se Venus Gota no aba peptic ulcer gastric ulcer ana se yemkroya de bia betu ase agbava ba mo honam bebe ye oya bia nfatwitwi na nkomo na sobrimo na cream so honam ani sanse kroyam pimples so na wutiri nu ebubuo no fast cream no esremu na ase entusi adwumako na krami mu amakase ebo no mede somo ne entie we mra ye ba na watwi mu nsema hodo atwagu ye no ebeto aso
o pese wo don wo platform area da watwi asen na sibia da biara ni bi da biara ne fa wo radio no transfer Adom FM 106.3 beti sem papa show Adom FM 106.3
Adom FM
You don't know Stone Boy talking is here me aseman Adom kase boy na modie na yetie boy
to the biara bi asensem doso e pese me TV asem nsem a yes Adom news
Benin Kotomi Adom FM so you are far
Adom FM it means yeah I mean that is it
yeah I don't know
dia yɛduru so ne na watwi mu nsɛm ahodo bi etwa gu ne yɛde beto dwa sɛ na watwi mu no ɛna maburu bi ɔmo bonsunkwanta wotwa agya to obi a no osusu sɛ wɔyɛ krɔmfo wrɛmfo emu sanso ɛna na watwi beto dwa sɛ ɛhyɛn bi tumi tefa so ɛne esuku ni akwadaa no wɔpemfoɔ akɔkumbuo mu ana ayɛ awerɛho sɛm paa na watwi mu nso ɛna beto dwa sɛ abrante bi ofisi aduonu baako ɔyɛ factory worker ne nsa ate sɛ pɛi na watwi mu nso mampanyi dada John Evans Atamos na busua bufu pa sɛ ekuo bi aso mo ho no so okoye nsiesie wasomdwe pa ka wa mo abusua amane na watwi mu nso no mrase bedwa no wo mo ekwa asetena ekae mampanyi dada President Mills na afi kura no na watwi mu de ensema hodo si pa na asante mantam mu sei MPC a wo mo ho na ho akohia sɛ wo mo sere sɛ empanifo nhwɛ na wo mo nsese bre na wo mo ne nanado nhia esan se asante mantam mu nya de so o makwan ho nsem we ne nsem ahodo be na watwi bi esi ye na memfa ntoa so ema wo na watwi mu nsem no ye firase afiri ye bonsunkwanta ka ne se arama fem na pa ma ta choba station 1 na no wo na bonsunkwanta mabunu dwaboso mansi ni mu wo Western North mantam ni mu no abrante be no susu se wo kromfo wramfo wo mo kye no boro no a timi twa agya tu ni mu post station ani mu hono a na sa awre wo sem ni siye na o ma no ani wo bi no e kire se sese de akromfo si ha wo mo no na obehwe na phone no mo de kɔ ani ade anti no wo mu ko mo hu se phone bi kuta no a enche kra na yiraye to mu hwe no mu se o ani wo ka wo mo a ekobo sa akro no ho na ka ho bia ne o mo kye ne boro no a ya wo twa agya etu ni mu
investigation ma nipa ne bai na nipa ne ba be kire se na no wo be na ko so e kwa ne so ha se no fla bi afu ba ento mo kire no mo ma ne daaye no ne fu no mo gye no no
eno no we kra ro mu kire mu anka posifo ba mu o se nko mbeje abrante so boys ne so mo mpene da na afi wo mo soso a wo mutimi gi twi ebepie mo bi kire se ne ye so nkrofo ewi o mo ani nto obi aba no aba kire we wo no ana ba kwa no ka ho de wodwane a wo mugu so a epe no ache no
na ba ko no so ka ho se wo ko no ba ko ko wajan yo me no tu ba ko de wajan ele tu so na tu tu ni do me na kunana
we se ne de tu sa police for person me kire se e ka we se no o person mo e ma ne dem no to na no ana ko mo ba ko na mo se so mo pe e ti so mo na we se na se bo so amo se mo pe ya ene ankwa no ma ro akati so ma ko to ma fra o ma fra akati so
Omanfo bi a wo mu wasa hwibonsunkwanta na wode wonsam eto adom kase anim na yemfiri hono mai na yemra tema na okay ansa na bekọ tema no yenkọ hansa na watwi mu de betu odwa se Western North mantem kro no wa mu se hwidwabo so ene ye kia track ibi watumi ate afa so wodi bibiri opemfo ya ne bahye ne yamu ni school boy omoso sometime amurumu hono mo a na kire se wo ba kutiri na ekono ofoforo so mpodie wo mo so ano a se wo mo de ne kọ ayaresa bia kwa akọpẹ ayaresa de ama no na sa track keyboard na no wo so wo hu ene wo fairly break ya ene 4x4 ba ko esu wodi ko wura mu sprinter na wodi akofa no so saloon ka kwade na eze wo hura tra no so ene se bibiri bra suku ni akwada wotumi ayam akoda yiti a wopemfo nchuso bebi a woda na emunye na ye ne Francis enti nyameche etwetwe nkomo sei
anopai de yanti asem de na me wo wife store wo kuruma wo to aduane ti mu yan se ka bi ba car here by the I don't know about chromo this speed is if you say that any place of bepe GB one mo say that be car free break to the one say I shall say I hate cars I take kokuru mu into we omo plan there e ho ne ye way a wo ba betie si main road mu tena lan kusa bi sinanim ana praga bi so esi nachi a praga na etwen lan kusa na beti esi main road nim no so adi nachi into ne de nachi e na fesi car no onim de hu an say car no ahete omo mienu nya ahete praga na ko bo lan kusa na mu ma lan kusa sa ko bo sprinter mu na car kese na kia no esan ko bo private car no obi tim afina obe park a store no mu nya ko she amna mu a ye rush ko ho in fact na nye open for order the bible school na eni enyan yi omugu what is akwane de car no ehete sa no ma ne tini pai ma na dwene bogu lankusa ne de ani mo na dwene bogu car no ta akwane de amuno mu wa ba ma me ne de na hu se na ohome but mitimi chire de say wo wuo so otiase de mitimi chire
na se na watchi mu so nsem no bi ne nan wachi no ene ye ne wo mu atwi praga bi twetwe nkomo no kire se de aye ne de wo mu aka ehyan ne ka wo pa de yise nyame ene ji wo mu nkwa
me praga rider ma free afeya ba be park station enti me be park here no obi so osi wo nyansapo no ti me twa junction no so na me park here na de mti ana gbora enti me si free praga no a me du wo condition in there. Maybe I can't determine. These are doctors and some of matches. But say I'm here. Every same way I'm going to join you. Now, crown I media. The see
na chese omanfo bia saa bre no awre hosem ne si wo sehwabosho no wo hobie no eno ne adom kase twetwe nkomo saa no na watwi mu aso na betu odwa se abrantie bi won finhia aduonu ba ko Francis Ajeman ya wodi ne djuma ewo NCS Plastic Recycling Company Limited ye wotema afidie na wo mo ede eyam eniama no ne atwitwa abrantie mu se huhuhu ma na firimu na wo mo ane wo hobi ni kiremu a afidie na sei e na abrantie wo no ana ye se bi obetuma ye wi no mo sa de ye adwuma no munnim de ye ya ofoforo bi ekoso afidie no abra na Francis Ajeman yi wo ye afidie ni ye tie ne ne nsa ne dem wo hu yansa amma ne so ne se bobo ne kosa ya na mo ye ho hwe a na enye ye na mo kire nsemu sei
menim no oye madam for like operating machine no 7 a.m. and mistakenly obi akoso switch no nti oso switch no na machine no blade no atwini sa ye no osa di ba no sa twibium atwini sa no na otwa ni sa no nti like otwa ni sa no na otwa ni ha kakra ni ti hu kakra and like what humi kakra nti sa no pa no person mu yi no free machine no omo anyi omo gina ho no mo hwe omo asa na omo free police no omo amba ntem. They wasted time before coming. By the time they came, like, material and rubber side, you know.
I don't know what one year you may be, and our children say, we say, and what you know, and our branch Francis Ajeman, were free winning your banso, and Nekasan watches, I feed in what you say, a chan and son inside a chip chai. Ya no Susan come ye ha, could be to me and Yankwana, one Isabella Gidglo at Chincomosi.
Yoko not in some back way ye frina, I chucha 3, a bear left, and I chucha 3, and it's infants and I dream a peer. No, I'm saying to machine out the age, man, like Bibia Fort View or until we infants I didn't have the Bayer Madam, or say, and like I did now, ye, Juman. As I say, on Sunday to a BI, be ye, Juman, now I is their man. Into Oba Bayano, now we machine. Fort View hunting nipa wakati obi se onye manu nti nipa na oye manu o se on twen kakra on to ni boss nti onya asole nti osole a obeba beye machine
eno no we ya branch ya wafiri mu ni nua ba na wone bella gidiglo twetwe nkomo na ne kurakura mu ne ne wo mu aye adwuma factory obi twetwe nkomo no mo chese ene ya pa mpanimfo wo se adwuma mo do mo famu na ne wo so onya wura ho na wo shift ne ende na o ma lock gate se kokuro Gise no nsia na obepon no abansa ne bina na adwofo mpo de ne se wo hye hwe ne ade chi a ansa na wo ma bio ene nsem ahodo bi a omre tu ama ne bofo anim ni
we ya first ya second ya ba night no kra night no ya ba adwuma na ya wo inside no ma san the padlock unlock ya she inside meanwhile ya CCTV and security were around it say jakra to inside omo ba bie ya kra na wo kra achi wono ma san unlock
kakra Ghana fo mrantie bedie eni o mrantie bi o me adwuma wa NCS Plastic Recycling Company Limited watama no mche se owura mu anom de credo atom wa kire nti se jakura tomu a kwan ya befa so apia bonte no eya onu nyame nti eni ya de adwuma ne mu mpanifo e hye omu bi pa na watwi mu no na nya gro ono abo Samuel atame o se commanded na eguafo ebrim rahye bedwani finfi mantamu no kire se adwumako bi ahye won ho ene na omoni kokko anyi do ho wo mo so omokọ akoye renovation e wo mampanyira da Johnny Vansatamo se bia wo mo pe ne kora bre ne ho abre o ma mabusuani bi amane na e ba ne sei e bo se nko omokọ ne kogu nsansa na omo do mo nsa beka omo do mo nsa kantina watwi mu abusua no wo mo ani bre pa na ekosi senso na ode nsam atu dwase
oye national security za inti mo wakaye wo park ho bia no wonye mo wonye na body no da ho no onye wotse
onye state property
onye state property.
The body
is not state property. Oyebusia property. Oyebusiaze. Ebazinti na sabia ofimiwe ya. I had custody of the body. Will be some permission. I had to sign and sign a body will release on don't go no kissing. Ebazinti na bananka de. Oya here's an example. Wafa. Share presidency be more what in area once we wuko. Ochinebia yomi na yere ye bibi Ochinebi aba ho ye nyina Ochinebi ni akohwe president bi nenda na da hye NGO bi nensa na wakọ no so okobubu ndan wakana mere ya na foforo na se Professor Mills na se was ma NGO mo okobubu ndan oye no foforo odem bo ebusu amanze a damaji motu makai wo kru bi ado
na enu achi no na opanyini Samuel atame se kire se koku anyi do hokra na no ye no nwanwa koku agi atamere si ata nani ase te se de wuye busuani won susu wonya busuani fantefo na anya won masem na wase sede woni o mampanyina da ye adwuma mfie nsia pe no eno ne nkire se bi na mu ye wodea a wobetimi akọ akoye bibia wo pa abra mo busuani bia ma ne se ne se hunti eti koku anyi do ho wase ne pa wonyina yi
elusu ejuma ni se nyi ejuma enye ne se nyi zina atamios na se dizi ho kakra ne mom no there's a limit to everything. Now as a family we are sick and tired of this boy. Them boy
on your boy
what ejobi nzeme bi wo ho a
yes
nzeme bi wo ho a penyine nye boys na waye adze obere ye bia nyim na adze ye onye them anyime brother nyine ye adwuma 6 years.
But they were very close.
One can show that they were very close. Ejobi never. Who tells you that they were very close? They were Bisa Neil and Van der Poy, Bisa Ludwig Kloje, Bisa Demon Coffee, and one and no one you when you were son, I was it the boy you was a rubber. Demon Coffee when you profit several years. In your being in a year, 6 years, you own the person.
I don't know, opinion a Samuel Atamesi. Ono na chese wo ye commended na eguafo ebrim rahye bedwani na watwi ne nani abresa na sansem kro no wamu no kom rahye bedwamu a ene rahye bedwa no kai no se do panyine ti ase na wodwo na asumdue ahene na za asumdue na de mu no na wo se rahye bedwa no wo mo gina ho no mu din na afi wo mo ekai wo panyine sanso hwemu a ni mfie du mu a enie na dom kuma na dom kasie nyina no wo mo ka panyine ho asem ka na bakosem pa ma wo mo kire se de opanyine wo bo adwuma no se okosoa pa ye adwuma ne dumpempenso bi ampe bi agana kanya be bia ye drini no panyine de wajadin papa wasasi so.
Memory will distribute by highlighting a selection of 10 Milesian attributes which I humbly consider to be epitomizing and defining of his character and works. 1. A public service of integrity. Professor Atta Mills left a legacy of high-grade integrity. He didn't have to say it, he simply lived it. Both those of us who worked with him closely and those who observed him from afar knew that his true character was that of integrity. Public service of integrity came to him naturally. He was absolutely incorruptible, and throughout his service to Ghana as a lecturer, a tax administrator,
no na chese Northton Marche Bedwani Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa ena ode sansa mi tu dwa Marche Bedwani no achi na dom kase ne dom kuma nyina ba no de ni meche o se eche mensa bonso ne Haruna Idrisu wo mo soso e kan sempa ya wo munim efa opanyire hu sei.
Perhaps we have to tarry to encounter or be confronted by what in God's eyes was the inevitable. So it happened the way it happened. The speaker, Professor J.E. Mills, was an established and indeed an accomplished academic that when he first came and there was this brouhaha over the payment of gratuity to members of parliament, ministers of state, and the former president, when, with respect, populism had taken center stage and a committee had to be established.
Dom Kasie Bano Deni was H. Mensa Bonsun and Nuachino na Samuel Atamils. Commander dina igwafu ebrim Rashe Bedwani so chese o manfo no amoda so de na de ne kuankrata na de ne kuankrata o se sa de ni nyina hu hia busuani biem obi antwa so ne mankrata te asedi mpa wogya ne adwuma wo ye no na obi anhwe no mo ho dewuro.
This is a quiet neighborhood that he didn't want to disturb his friends, always going with all these cars going up and down. And thirdly, what he told us was, can you believe the amount of resources that we will use, fuel, security men who will follow him to the house, the amount of money that it will cost the nation, and that the savings that he could make out of that, he could use it to build boreholes or to build schools. Big brother, happy birthday. Now, it's interesting that after your death, so many things are coming on. I just hope and wish that Ghanaians will focus on what he did instead of how he died, because it's none of anybody's business. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Samuel Atamils commander dina igwafu ebrim Rashe Bedwani ne ene ekoti efa ne nuabe ma ya nkane no ye Ghana mampanyini firi a wafiri mu ene eho enkomo no abusa ye gina so ho na afa ye de asi ye de sisa na se mu messages no so de wo aba pa ba Evans Jabade ne de aba medase se wo hwe me medase so se be ho ayefe na adwempa hene odi asempa oto so mienu ono so de ne de aba cha Yasmin enso so de ne de aba you are too sweet too Hayford Oten enso de ne de aba e wo ha sei na afa hard working Christian medawase so de aba Philip Obri yebo anso wo de aba Dr. Babaza mo master planner junior Kentampo wo de aba Blessed Son Ewuja Kede Lali so wo de aba e wo ha sei na afa Juada Emmanuel onso so wo de aba Hayford Oten wa ha ko mensa pillar 2 obin eje nana ya Blessed Son Stephen Chumesi Ankra Philip Obri yebo na eje kwade na afa Evans Jaba obin eje munyina messages no wa ha medamase se moje brehwe wo Facebook and YouTube na Edward Robert Tete ena wode atum live a wunya bi ehwe ne medase pass waka na kai se nwumaku akura yemu no dependable heba home wo mo na akofa Adom Anokyewaaba Adwoa Serwaa ena afi Adom natural mamester wo mo de abadwa so ne capsules so afi Adom natural tonic nso wo mo de aba na Adom dedicate capsules no ena ne mester so wo mo de abadwa so Franco Trading Enterprise so enso no okura yemu wo se phone papa efie Kelcha toothpaste wo se Happy Smile ono so ekura yemu na Agbave Herbal Center Venus Gota Agbave ba Mona Cream and Soap ne nyina no wo mo de abadwa so wo mo se wo mo ekura yemu na makasie aye de da mo so mo se enwumako bebrebe oho mo se ye de yi na mo bekura mu na se enkomo mo pa na me sorry dia na woda pasronko enko ema Afro Dance Hostel Raskuku Sinyankopon enhira pa na onkyere wo nkwaban mu no ma wo hye nya kase na koso a ne hyeren na afia wada pastor nkoso nkoma Isaac we graphic designer e wo Colorport Media ye wo Accra New Town Nyankopon enhira wo mfie ne so ni nyina efri Edward Robert Tete aka African ho na me gina so nam de asikwa me kulenu ena bo ansem no ano e ma me na me amekenkan ma wo no wo hia me a e ya frɛ me Anokyewaaba Adwoa Serwaa me moajo
Adensifo Muntie Supreme Concrete abepiem wa Accra.
Minimum blocks tradie peking crying yensea o
Etwamo se yede yensapa etwa blocks. Supreme Concrete ne de adensifo nyina age atomu. Watwa concrete products ahodo blocks, curbs, de yede road constructions, ne ready mix concrete we nyina no. What the fasa automated computerized system yimu ene try.
Ace na blocks transfer na dam machines akese so say.
Sharp and chia etwa blocks no bebre enti aboa no bafam market price pepepe aya den na aya quality so adensifo amawo Volta Eastern ne Central region